What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. If you are new here, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and turn on notification bells to make sure that you stay up to date with everything that I put out on the channel. So, the Magical Mischief event is over and I don't miss it. There were some cool things about it, sure, but there were a lot of not so good things. In fact, I've actually made up a little pros and cons list here, and I can tell you that the cons list far outstretches the pros list. I mean, I made an actual list. Pros, cons, and you can see how much longer the cons list actually is. Now, let's start with the good stuff. Niantic tried, sort of, to give us an event that can help us enjoy the game and stay safe and healthy. And that's cool. That's great. It was pretty cool to see the new game mechanics in action and how it worked with the individual player. And in fact, playing with other people, well, one other person, while I was playing, made it kind of cool to see the difference compared to where we were in the tasks. What I was getting for spawns as opposed to what they were getting as spawns. It was actually pretty cool to see. The XP farming was pretty decent, and actually really kind of has been since this whole quarantine thing started because of the increased spawns. You throw a brain elixir on, it's a good XP farm either way, especially if you've got a tonic potion running, a trace potion running. And the other benefit of the event was I was able to farm, and I'm sure some of you were also able to farm, some of the foundables that you need for recently prestiged pages. Unless you're one of those people who have prestiged all of the top pages, which most of this stuff was from in your registry, then it really didn't do you any good, did it? Now let's talk about the flaws, because there's a lot of them. Now, as I mentioned, it was cool to see the way that the game mechanics worked, where, you know, I was working on one task, and my partner was working on another task, and everything was spawning differently, you know. I was on Part 3, they were on Part 2, so things were spawning different for us. That was pretty cool to see, especially stuff in the wild, not even just off of the trace potions themselves, but stuff in the wild was spawning a bit differently too. We had some common ones, but, you know, as far as for what we needed for the particular task we were on, it was pretty interesting to see. However, when it came down to using the trace potions, the potion was great for while you were on the task that you started it with, but if you finished that task, the whole set, once you finished that set and moved on to the next set, it continued to spawn things for you from the first set of tasks. And I understand maybe the mechanics are difficult to manipulate to be able to switch like that, but I can say this. When I went from my second set of tasks to my third set of tasks, I did it in the middle of the night, you know, quarantine, no reason to go to bed early. I did it in the middle of the night, and it went from what I was working on in the wild, which was, I believe, not mysterious artifacts, the mysteries of the wizarding, or wonders of the wizarding world. When I switched from that one to the third set of tasks, which was dark arts, a whole shit ton of dark arts stuff spawned around me, right in my yard, and that was awesome. But my trace potion was still bringing me mysterious artifacts and wonders of the wizarding world stuff that I really no longer needed. And that ran for the remaining 15-20 minutes, whatever I had left on it there, until it was done. And then in order to advance with the dark arts, not only did I have to put on another trace potion, but actually in order to finish, I had to go out the following day. Like, I actually had to leave the house, and the point of this event was to not have to leave. Now, I thankfully am not sick, so I don't have to stay home if I don't necessarily want to, although you should. And, you know, where I live, we are not confined to our houses, but in some places, like Italy, you can't leave your house. So thinking about those players and what they had to go through in order to even just try to get the stuff for this event, any players in Italy were kind of screwed for this because spawns aside, energy was another huge issue. You know, energy is supposed to be spawning more frequently on the map, and it is when you're out and about. If you're stationary, though, if you can't leave your house or wherever you're confined to, energy is minimal. It's not spawning, and unless you are lucky enough to be sitting on top of an inn or have some right down the street, like I have 3 right down the street from me, I can walk to and back and nobody will ever even know I left the house, but you're not supposed to go out. So now you're running out of energy and you're catching spawns you no longer need, and the energy is not refreshing. That's kind of a bummer. And on top of that, on the same vein as that, when it comes to the energy, the flee rate was ridiculous. This message popped up, it might as well have spawned, popped up more on my game than I have seen the entire time playing this game. And I know departing is part of the game, yes, and with increased spawns you're going to get increased departures, but when I have 15 foundables around me and more than half of them disappear, and on top of that, not only do they disappear, they don't disappear after the first or second attempt, they wait 5, 6, 7, some of them 10 to 15 different attempts burning through the energy before they actually disappear. And that's on top of using potions, and if you're somebody who uses dawdle droughts, I know my partner tried a few times to use dawdle droughts, and guess what? Shit still ran. Okay? Now, like I said, I know that's part of the game, and I'm not complaining so much about things running, because that is part of the game. I'm more complaining about the rate that things are running when you're doing this supposedly to help us, but and to help keep us healthy and safe and enjoy the game. So you increase the spawns, great. You change the mechanics, awesome. You put some spell energy on the map, okay, cool. But then everything runs. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I almost rage quit yesterday. I had like one more task to complete. I think I only needed like 3 more of the Tonks foundables or the high foundables, one or the other. I don't remember which. I only needed a handful more, a couple more. And not only did I have to leave my house to get them, which is fine, I'm in a place where I can do that, fine. I didn't leave the vehicle, I didn't touch anybody, fine. But not only did I have to leave to do that, but it took me like an hour and a half because every single one fucking ran on me. And that's an issue. Like, if you're going to do these types of events, especially under quarantine when the entire world is locked down, maybe drop the flee rate, or at least don't increase it, because it definitely feels like it was increased. Like, it was a ha ha ha, we're going to make you burn your energy, now you got to spend money. Cash grab, rather than a, hey, you guys, world's going through a tough time, here's an event to help you kind of, keep your head up, keep your chin up, and stay optimistic and have fun while you're stuck in quarantine for God knows how long. Now, flee rate aside, that's assuming you even got anything that you were wanting to catch, because the only thing new, or the only thing rare, or whatever you want to consider it, was the, quote, marauders, which is not what they're actually called, but the young marauders, and that's cool, except it wasn't new at release of the event. It was new 3 days, 4 days prior to the release of the event. So some of us had already caught some of them. So getting them as rewards, while yeah, it was cool, it was nice to kind of bolster those stickers a little bit and get a little bit closer to having the completed sticker set, it wasn't new. And then on top of that, all of the spawns that are spawning more frequently in the wild, and all of the spawns that were spawning more frequently off of your trace potion, aren't anything special. It's nothing I can't sit here in my house or go down the street and catch on a daily basis regularly. I'm not talking about, that one really cool thing, oh, look, I got a Fluffy, or oh, look, I got a Swooping Evil, which I didn't see any of. Actually, my partner ended up getting like 2 of them. But that was off of the trace, which was like the rarest thing I've seen, and that was amazing. And they were spaced out like an hour apart or something like that, and that's fine. But there wasn't really any of that. There was nothing I didn't really need. Does that or I should say nothing I really needed. Nothing to keep me excited, to keep me going, and that's disappointing. You know, if you're gonna give a task like, you know, collect all these high foundables, yeah, it's great that they're spawning out there, but it's the same 3 or 4 that we see all the time anyway. The Thestrals, the vampires, like the stuff that you see on a daily basis already. Where were the swooping evils? Where were the fluffies, the Death Eaters? Where was the rarer stuff? I would have gladly traded all of the high foundables for anything rare to be spawning more. Anything that doesn't spawn on a regular basis. Anything that is special or just really hard to come by. Hell, give me the stuff that's only Fortress available. Since we're not supposed to go out and battle fortresses, let me catch those things in the wild for a little while. Or let me get them off of my trace potions at the very least. If I'm going to be wasting my time brewing these potions, give me something worth catching. And I don't mean to sound like ungrateful. Like, I am grateful for the stuff that Niantic has done. It shows that they maybe care a little bit, or at least that they can tweak the mechanics in their game to make different aspects of the game neater or, you know, more customizable, whatever the case may be. That's awesome. I'm talking about the overall. Like I said, the rewards for completing the tasks technically weren't new. They'd been out for a few days already. Some of us had already caught some of them. You know, you burn through your energy trying to even complete these tasks with no energy to refresh on the map, even though it's supposed to be spawning like crazy according to the article they released and the email I got and everything on Twitter and on Reddit and everywhere else in the fucking world. It's supposed to be more, and it's not. Speaking of things that are pointless, like these foundables that we all have a million of already and don't really need, the free gift, I'm sorry. I'm not usually one to look a free gift, you know, when you look down on a free gift. Grateful for whatever help usually you want to give us. But the free gift was absolutely freaking pointless. Absolutely pointless. All of the ingredients for the tonic for trace detection potion have been spawning like crazy on the map for the last 2 weeks. 2 weeks. It has been spawning like crazy. I have found almost nothing. I can't even get freaking Extemulo ingredients on a regular basis because there is so much freaking Baneberry and Erumpent Horns out there that is driving me fucking crazy. So, to give us a free store pack that contains 25 energy, great. We definitely needed the energy. That's one of my biggest gripes here. But to give us a store pack that only contains the 25 energy and then on top of that gives us the same ingredients that we've been catching non-stop for 2 weeks is a slap in the face. Like, give us something that we could use. Give us the actual potion. Give us a couple of them, maybe. Give us anything else that is actually usable and makes sense. Not things that we've been catching or collecting off of the map for 2 weeks freaking straight. Because that's all that's spawning is ingredients for Trace Tonic. There were a multitude of other things you could have done. Brain Elixirs would have been fine. Extemulo potions would have been great. Dawdle Drought would have been acceptable even. More energy. Just energy. Silver keys, any other potion other than the tonic for trace potion ingredients. Hell, give us a small supply of the potions, of the tonic potions. That would have been fine too. You know, 4 of them, 1 for each event, or 1 for each task, set of tasks. There you go. Boom, boom, boom. Because honestly, when you're sitting on 50 some odd of each ingredient for that potion, why do I really need a free bundle giving me more ingredients for a potion whose ingredients spawn so frequently in the wild right now? It's ridiculous. Bottom line, Niantic, I'm disappointed. I think you could have done much better. I think that you definitely screwed up on capitalizing on this. I really do. And I don't mean capitalizing as in making money, which I'm sure you did, because I'm sure you have tons of people out there buying energy because you're not supplying energy and we can't leave our houses. But the mechanics, the great concept, poorly executed. Poorly executed. Why couldn't the foundables that were changing as I changed tasks in the wild also change on my potion? Why did all the same stuff have to keep spawning on my potion? That was irritating and a waste. A waste of resources and a waste of my time. Guys, if you had a different experience, a better experience, or you agree with the experience that I had, or you have anything to add, let me know in the comments section down below what you think. As far as this event goes, while I did have fun doing it for the most part, there were some very frustrating aspects to it, and like I said, I really did almost rage quit yesterday. That's how pissed I was getting and how frustrated I was at the way the mechanics in the event were working and at the way the event was going itself. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section, guys. I'll be back with another video ASAP. Until then, stay safe and watch out for those demands.